set that line, draw that line in the sand, and just say, I'm done with the confusion of commingling all of my money. Hi everyone, it is Tina with Picture It Personal Finance. I am a financial coach who helps solopreneurs and small business owners and professionals get their money life in order so that they can do work they love. It is my goal to help you do away with the stress and anxiety of winging it with your money and get intuitive with your money by putting in some simple systems that will help you stay organized and stay clear on what's really going on. Now, today, I want to talk about something I see all the time, and that is the mess that comes up when you commingle your personal and business accounts. It is a very common practice, unfortunately, for people to sort of take money from their personal account for their business and simultaneously take money from their business account for their personal lives, because so frequently, especially for those of us who are solopreneurs, we look at it like, well, I am my business and my business is me. And I am here to tell you that that is not true. I mean, in some practical senses, sure, it's true. Like, I am a financial coach that runs a financial coaching business. So yes, I get that. However, I also treat my business like as though it's a separate entity. And there's a few reasons why I do that I want to speak with you about. The number one reason we'll say is the legal reason. And actually there's two legal reasons I'll talk about. But the number one is that according to GAAP, or the generally accepted accounting principles used within the United States, and I think there are comparable ones in other countries, you're legally required to treat your organization like a separate entity. That means you have to treat its assets like as though it belongs to the company. That includes the bank accounts, and you're going to treat your personal assets like as though they belong to you and therefore have your own separate personal accounts. When you don't do this, you're really kind of breaking the rules of play, if you will, for owning a business. More importantly, though, for those of us who have paid the money to create a limited liability company, an LLC, whether you do that as an S Corp or just as a single member or sole proprietor, you are paying money to reduce the liability on your personal assets because of stuff you're doing in your business. So think of it like this. I created an LLC for my rental company. I did that because, let's say, and I'm going to knock on wood because I'm a little superstitious, but let's say I had a tenant who was displeased and wanted to sue me and wanted to come after me. My lease, their rent, everything is tied back to the LLC. I have done that strategically and purposefully because if I ever do come across a situation where somebody wants to sue my company, then they can only get access to the things that the company owns. So if they tried to sue me and they wanted to take me for everything I was as the company, then they could really only do that. That means they could only go after those bank accounts. On the converse side, if I were to commingle everything, if I were to say, oh, willy-nilly, this I'll pay for out of personal, this I'll pay for out of business, even though it's really a personal expense, I've eroded that boundary. I've no longer shown or kept a clear separation between those two things. So now if that person tries to sue me and they took me to court and I had to evidence this sort of separate entity that I have for my business, I wouldn't really be able to do so because I haven't demonstrated that separateness. In that situation, they really can come after my personal assets. I would be terrified if I could lose my primary residence, my home, that you guys know is mortgage free. I've done multiple videos on this. How tragic would that be if I lost my home because I didn't have clear separation with my business? This can and does happen. Unfortunately, we live in a highly litigious society. I mean, it seems to me like people are suing all the time for all sorts of crazy things. And I'm sure a lot of those get thrown out. And I'm sure that many of you can get out of those situations by hiring a really great lawyer, but all of that is expensive. So why not just add the extra protection by doing a very simple thing and having separate bank accounts for your home and for your work? I know it can feel really difficult, like, oh my gosh, so many accounts, so many debit cards, but I'm telling you, and I really sincerely mean this, once you put it into practice, it actually becomes very simple for you to keep up the rhythm of being like, oh, the red card is for personal and the black card, that is for business. I actually recommend doing this with credit cards as well. If at all possible, have a credit card that's dedicated for your business and have a credit card that's dedicated for your home. And I have a video on clever credit card use. I will link it for you guys, but I think that idea, even though I did that video for personal use, it applies to business as well. The same concepts apply in both sides. So be smart about how you're using your money. Be smart about how you set up your accounts. Incidentally, I have a freebie, and I'm not as sophisticated with the lead generation and all that stuff. But if you want my freebie where I explain to you what are the accounts that I recommend to have as a business, feel free to email me. You can get my information in the description box below, and I will send you a copy of that freebie. So yes, feel free to reach out for that. In that freebie, I also explain a simple system for paying yourself consistently. So absolutely reach out for that if you're interested. Now, another reason that it is so important for you to have that separation of accounts that people don't think about, but you probably have felt the misery of if you are one of those who commingles things, is being able to very easily see how much it costs to run your business and how much it costs to live your life. I have several clients who have come to me, and one of the first things we've done, because they don't use a regular bookkeeping system like FreshBooks or QuickBooks, they have asked me to help create for them a profit and loss statement. I am not exaggerating when I say that we had to download a year's worth of transactions from their bank and line, like with a highlighter, go through and mark which ones were business and which ones were personal, because they were commingling everything. And we didn't have to do it for just one account. They actually had 2 separate accounts, but we had to go through the business account and be like, right, that's personal, that's business, that's personal, that's business. And then the same thing on the personal side, map it all out. Then we had to take that information and apply it to a separate spreadsheet that then could be the beginning phase of their profit and loss statement. It is so much easier if all of your business money comes into a business account and all of your business spending comes out of a business account. Becomes really clear. It's like, look, these were the monies in and these were the monies out, and I know they're all for the business. Simultaneously, it becomes a lot easier if you're trying to create a personal budget to better understand how much to pay yourself. It's so much easier to do that if it's not conflated with a bunch of expenses for your business. So you've got 3 really great reasons for making sure that your business accounts and your personal accounts are separate. Number 1 reason being that it is an accounting principle. You need to be doing this to be aligned with proper accounting principles. It's a requirement to treat your business as a separate entity. Number 2 is you protect your personal assets from being up for somebody to come sue you or come after your business, and you protect your personal assets from them being able to get access to that if they decided to take you to a court of law. And then number 3, you make your life so much easier in terms of understanding how much it actually costs to run your business if all of those costs are coming out of a single account. All right, guys. Then the question becomes, well, how then do I take money out of my business and how do I send it to my personal account? I have a really great video that summarizes Profit First. Profit First is one of the easiest ways to implement a simple system to help you do that. But the short of it is this: set up an automatic transfer that happens once or twice a month. I personally do it on the 1st and 15th. That will take money from your business checking account and auto transfer it to your personal checking account. You are able to do that across institutions. My business banking setup is all at Relay Bank, and my personal stuff is Wells Fargo, because you guys know I was with Wells Fargo for 100 years in my corporate career. It's an exaggeration, but it felt that long. You can do this. Like, a lot of people think, well, I can only do that if I have all of my accounts set up in the same institution. No, you absolutely can do it across institutions. You can do it as an instant transfer, and you usually have to pay a fee for that, or you can do it as a standard transfer that takes 1 to 3 days. And that's usually a free option. At least that's the case with Relay Financial. So I will put a link in the description box below for Relay Financial. They have clearly designed that institution to meet the needs of people who want to implement a multi-account strategy for their business. They let you have, in the free version, up to 25 separate business accounts. And I personally use 6 business accounts in my business. So again, if you're interested to better understand what is a good account strategy, send me an email and I will get my freebie in your hands. But remember, you can set up those auto transfers. You can use the accounts you have. You do not have to go to a new bank. You do not need to set up new accounts. Use what you have. Just get that separation in place. Like, set that line, draw that line in the sand, and just say, I'm done with the confusion of commingling all of my money. And from here on out, I am going to stay focused in using my business card for business expenses and my personal card for my personal expenses. It is really that simple. All right, guys, I hope you have a great day. I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.